Welcome everyone to another edition of Holding Court. I'm Don Heath.
And I'm Rich McGowan, and this is our final show before region tournaments get going, so we'll preview those as they get started on Tuesday. And we'll hear from Bible Baptist coach Kenny Conroy, whose team plays for the Pizza Region Championship Friday night.
Rich, where has the time gone? It seems like we just tipped off the season.
No, it doesn't. That's
no, it doesn't.
A long season. I'm happy region tournaments are finally here.
At least, well, we're in region tournament time. We're going to find out who's going to state, and then we're going to find out who's state champions.
That's right. Well, when you start talking region tournaments, I think you have to start with Region 3-5A, Don. Are we on course for another Savannah High Growth Showdown?
I'm expecting it. It'll be Saturday night, Savannah State. The teams have played 3 times so far. Savannah High won the last one, which allowed them to win the Region 3-5A championship, regular season championship. But now it's tournament time, and Groves will have a shot at getting the #1 seed going into the state playoffs.
You know, Don, in the first 3 times these teams have played, first 2 on Groves Court, they won that one. The third meeting, Savannah High was home, they won that one. So the home court has been important. This is going to be a neutral site. So who has the edge? I'll
still take Savannah High. They play big in big games, and this is a big game. They played at Savannah State, so take the Blue Jackets in the big games. Okay. How about on the girls' side? On the girls' side, well, I mean, those are by far the top 2 teams that we're expecting. The girls' side is a little more closer together. Bradwell Institute went down to Camden County Tuesday night, got the victory there, so they've secured the #1 seed. Beach should be #2 if they beat Groves Friday night, and Camden County will be 3. It'll really be between those 3 teams to see who earns the #1 seed for the state playoffs. And I gotta tell you, I'm still very impressed by what I saw from Bradwell a couple weeks ago against Beach, and then the way they went down to Kingsland and took care of business at Camden County. I think they're a team that's rolling right now, and I like the Tigers to win the #1 seed. But this is in Savannah. Beach doesn't get revenge?
Yeah, revenge will be a huge motivating factor for the Bulldogs, there's no doubt about it. But after Cleowata and Monique Willis, there's a pretty good drop-off on the Bulldogs roster, whereas Bradwell may not have one player as dynamic as one of those 2, but they're more balanced. They have more depth, and I think that ultimately will be the difference.
So you're saying 5 is better than 2?
That's what I'm saying, yes. On to Region 2-4A, Don, the local teams in this region have struggled a little bit, Effingham County and South Effingham. Do either one of those teams have the ability to pull off the Cinderella story, and if not, who do you like in this one?
Yeah, well, Effingham County defeated Savannah Christian just last week. Savannah Christian's the top team in Region 3A, so Effingham County has the wherewithal to do it, but still you have to like Statesboro High. They went through the region with just 1 loss, and I think they're the big favorite in the region.
And on the girls' side, it's sort of the same thing. Effingham County has a shot, but it depends on which Effingham County team shows up. I mean, they've had nice victories against the top teams in the region, Glen Academy and Brunswick, but they've also stubbed their toe badly with upset loss to South Effingham, and they got thumped Tuesday night by Savannah Country Day. So if that Rebels show up and play like they can, they've got a shot to win this thing. But if they don't, then they could be bounced in the first round and fail to make the state playoffs. So whichever Rebels team shows up is going to be the difference.
In South Effingham, if they show up like they did against Effingham County 2 weeks ago?
It's possible, but don't hold your breath. When it gets right down to it, I like Brunswick to win this region. They've got a couple really quick, shifty guards. They're a couple dynamic players. They're a solid team all the way around, so I like Brunswick in this one.
Moving into Region 3 AAA, Liberty County just a couple weeks ago was on a major roll, 16-1 they started the season. Recently, however, they've lost 3 of their last 5 games, and so they're kind of limping into the region tournament.
Certainly not the way you want to enter.
No, not the way you want to enter the postseason. On the plus side, the top 2 teams in that region get into the state playoffs automatically, so they look like they're almost automatically #2, so they'll be in the state playoffs.
Well, they play Richmond Hill this weekend.
That could clinch it for them, at least a #2 bid into the state playoffs. How about the girls?
Baldwin. In a word, Baldwin. They've lost only 1 game all season.
What's that word?
Baldwin.
Baldwin.
Baldwin. They've lost one game all season long. They're undefeated in the region. The coaches have them ranked number 2 in the state. If anybody wins this region other than Baldwin, it'd be a surprise. Going to Class AA, we've only got one boys local team. That's Benedictine. What do you see in their future?
Benedictine's 14-7. Going into the weekend games, they improved from 7 wins last year to 14 this year. 5 of their losses this season have been by 6 points or less. They're coming off a nice win against Appling County, a ranked team in the state. Benedictine has some potential of getting to state, which would be quite an accomplishment from last year. Long County, however, is the top team in the region, and I would pick them to win the region.
And Don, as far as the girls are concerned, we've spoken before about this region as far as it's wide open. There's not one dominant team in this. Brantley County will host. They're the #1 seed. And if you look at their record, it looks very impressive, 19-3. But I look a little bit closer, none of their wins have come against anything higher than AA. A lot of their wins, in fact, have come against Class A teams. And their region losses include a loss to St. Vincent's in Appling County, sort of middle of the pack team, so they're capable of being knocked off at any moment. Long County is the #2 team. They've lost 3 of their last 5 games, so not really coming in top form. It's a region that really could be taken by anybody. I have no idea who's going to win this one. It could be a lot of fun.
Of course, the Final Four will be played at Brantley County, so
yes, they
that
are
should
playing
give
on their home court, and that definitely works in the Blue Herons' favor. But I wouldn't say they're a lot. Don, we've talked before about Region 3 Single A. It's split into sub-regions, so only the top 4 teams in each sub-region make it to the tournament, which means I think we're going to have some interesting matchups.
Yeah, interesting matchups that we haven't seen before. The top 4 teams from one side in A move over to play the top 4 seeds from B, and the rest of the teams are out of the region tournament, so their seasons are over. Savannah Christian was the top team in A and finished with a 10-2 record. Josh Sparks playing as well as anybody in the city right now, and I would have to take Savannah Christian as a favorite.
Savannah Country Day is playing real well. Calvary Day with Cody Padgett, Campione Lick too, but you're going with Christian.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
How are the girls doing?
As for the girls, it's sort of the same story. We've got the usual suspects, defending champions, Calvary Day, always formidable Savannah Country Day, and Savannah Christian has got more than a puncher's chance to knock off any one of those teams. They beat Country Day in overtime a couple weeks ago. And the #4 team in that sub-region is Jenkins County. They've only had 5 losses on year. All 5 of those losses to Calvary, Country Day, and Christian. So they're coming in with a lot of motivation to prove themselves. In the B sub-region, it's headlined by ECI, and they're undefeated in the region, 16-2 overall. They're a quality team. And the rest of that region is all hovering around the 500 mark. So they're capable of knocking off anybody if they don't bring their top game. So this region is going to be a lot of fun. I'll be there at Metter every night. It's a long drive to Metter, but it'll be worth it because I think this is going to be an entertaining region. But I like Calvary Day. The defending champs. It's the safe pick and the smart pick, I think. Don, we're talking so much about region tournaments that get going next week that we've got a couple tournaments already going with the Geezes and the Skeezers of the world. And this week I went out to talk to Coach Kenny Conroy of the Bible Baptist Girls, and his team is playing for its region championship Friday night. Coach, your girls have had a fantastic season to this point. Could you imagine at the start of the year that going into the region championship you'd be 21-2? I mean, that's an impressive run, to say the least.
Well, I knew through the hard work over the summer and the summer camps that we went to that if we worked hard, we would have something special this year. Splitting the regions back to 2A and 3A helped out a lot. Taking the 3A teams out of the region, it made our region more competitive and more fulfilling to our style of play. But with the hard work of the girls, we've turned out to be very successful within the region.
Rich, you're headed over to Beaufort Academy this weekend. What do you expect to see on Friday night?
Well, these two teams down have faced each other twice this season. Bible Baptist won both of them by scores of 45-24 and 55-30, so I'm expecting more of the same. We've talked about it before, but Ariel Brown and Ariel Martinez are just a duo few skis that teams can handle. You know, there are some public school teams that would have fits trying to handle them as well. Wednesday night, they combined for 51 points. And it's a team that I just don't think First Baptist has figured out yet. So I'm expecting Bible to win this one and probably run the play.
Yeah, and obviously Bible Baptist boys are already in the state tournament, although they lost earlier this week.
Yes, they did. They did get knocked off, but I mean, come state tournament time, they're a dangerous team with Jerome Richards and Tevin Thomas. I mean, you know that. That's a quality team they have over at Bible Baptist, and both teams capable of making long runs.
Yeah. Time we have for this week. Thanks for watching Holding Court. I'm Don Heath.
And I'm Rich McGowan. Be sure to check back here next week for another edition of Holding Court. I'm Rich McGowan.